Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at some cones, finding some missing measures here. So we're going to be looking for the heights and the radius of these shapes. So you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need a calculator, and this sheet. So let's go ahead. We're going to find the missing measures, we're going to round to the nearest whole number, okay? So if I were you, I would start with our formula. So volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. So we've got the area of the base with pi r squared, cone is 1/3, and we've got the volume with the height there. So I always start with the formula because then I can just fill in what I know under that. So I see the volume down here, so these are all volume equals. It'll be like that in every problem. So the volume is 16.8 equals the 1/3 and the pi are going to stay there all the time. R, so I need my radius next. I see my diameter as 4, so I need to cut this in half. That means my radius is going to be 2. And then my height is the thing that I don't know, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay? So then, what I would do is probably simplify on the right side here. Okay? So I'm going to keep this 16.8 equals, then I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to do 1/3 times pi times 2 squared, so times 4, equals, and that gets me like, let's say 4.1, we'll say 19 h. Alright, so then one easy division here. Divide by 4.19 on both sides, and we should get our answer. So 16.8 divided by 4.19 equals, and these cancel, we get h equals, and then when I did this, I got 4. So if we wanted to real quick, we could check. So we could take 4, put it in for h, and we would see if we're right. So let's do that real quick. So 1/3 times pi times 2 squared times our height, which we just figured out was 4, and it should come out to around 16.8. So when I did mine, it came out to 16.75. So because we're rounding with pi a lot, we're going to have to kind of accept a range of answers. So that looks good there, a height of 4. Alright, number 2. Again, I'm going to start with volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. I'm going to fill in what I know. So my volume is 8.4. 1/3 and pi always stay the same. And then r, which is what we're looking for, so we don't know our radius yet. And then we have our height of 8. Okay, so again, I would simplify the right side first. So I've got 8.4 equals, I'm going to take 1/3 pi and 8, and I'm going to combine those. So 1 ABC3 times pi times 8, and I get 8.38. So 8.38, and then we still have this r squared there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this 8.38 first. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8.38. You'll notice this is really going to be close to 1. So 8.4 divided by 8.38 is going to be basically 1. So I've got 1 on the left side equals, these canceled, and I had r squared. Now, just for the sake of solving and showing your work, the opposite of squared is square root. So we're going to square root both sides, and we're going to get the radius is equal to 1 on this one. You can go ahead and check it if you want. I am going to move on to number 3. Again, start with the formula, 1/3 pi r squared h. And then let's fill in what we know. So I've got my volume down here of 75.4 equals 1/3 pi r. So the diameter is 6, which means my radius needs to be 3. And my height is the thing that I'm looking for, so I leave that as h. So I'm going to combine all of this stuff on the right side here that I can. So 1/3 times pi times 3 squared. So I get 75.4 equals, and then I got 9.42 and then the h. So when I did 1/3 times pi times 3 squared, I got 9.42. Then I'm going to get rid of it by dividing it on both sides. So these are going to cancel. I'm just going to be left with h over there. Then let's take 75.4 divided by 9.42, and that comes out to 8. So my height in number 3 is 8. Alright, number 4. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. And eventually you guys are going to get so good at this that you won't need to do this, but I think that it really does help keep you organized and keep things in order. So I think it's beneficial. So volume, underneath volume, I'm going to write 56.5 equals, and then 1/3 and pi always stay. My radius is the thing that I'm looking for. Okay, that's the thing that's missing, so that just stays r squared. And my height in this one is 6. So on the right side, I'm going to do some combining. I'm going to take 1/3 pi and 6 and combine them together. So 1/3 times pi times 6. So I got 6.28, and then we still have this r squared over here that we're going to have to take care of. And that's going to equal 56.5. So I'm going to divide away this 6.28. And those will cancel, and I'll get r squared. And then the other one, so let's say 56.5 divided by 6.28 equals, and it's like 8.99. We're rounding to the nearest whole, so this is going to be 9. And then r squared, to get rid of squared, we do the square root of each side. That's going to cancel. We get r equals 3. Alright, and then number 5 down here. So v equals 1/3 pi r squared h. The volume is 33.5 equals 1/3 and pi always stay the same. My radius in this one, so my diameter is 4, so I need half of that, which is 2. So 2 squared and then h. Again, I'm going to combine these 3 items on the right side here. So 1/3 times pi times 2 squared, which is 4. And I get 4 and we're just going to call it 4.2. So we get 4.2h. And then we just have our one division here, 4.2. These cancel. I get h equals 33.5 divided by 4.2. Gets us right about 8. Alright, and then the last one I'm going to do for you guys here, number 6. So I've got volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Are you tired of hearing that yet? I hope not, because you have all the back to do. Alright, so 1072.3. So 1072.3 is my volume here. 1/3 pi stays. My radius is the thing that I'm looking for, so I'm leaving that as r squared. And then my height is 16 in this one. Alright, we got some larger numbers on this one. So I'm going to take my 3 numbers that I know down here and combine them. So 1/3 times pi times 16. and I get 16.76, and we still have that r squared we're going to have to deal with there, equals 1072.3. I'm going to go ahead and divide away my 16.76. So these are going to cancel, and I'm going to be left with r squared on this side. Let's see what we get when we do our division over here. 1072.3 divided by 16.76 is 64. And then to get rid of squared, we do the square root of both sides. So we get r equals, and the square root of 64 is 8. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show you guys. I would like you to do the 6 problems on the second page. And then that's it for today. Thanks for watching.